How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Just to forewarn you, you may hear some background noise. My wife is right over there, right over there, and she is working on some projects of her own. You may hear an occasional obscenity uttered from her. And if that happens, I'm not going to edit it out. We're just going to roll with it. And the reason I'm not going to edit it out, I haven't learned how to yet. So, anyway, there's a good chance you're going to hear her both with her background noise. You might hear the sewing machine fire up. Who knows? But anyway, came here to talk about Wal-Mart. Yeah. Now, I don't shop at the Wal-Mart, right? And I have a long list of reasons for that, right? If you do, hey, you do you. I can't bring myself to do it, right? I know millions of people around the country shop at the Wal-Mart, right? And I have some issues with them that I'm not going to get into my issues with Walmart, right? The issue that I'm going to get into pertaining to Walmart is that guess who's mad at them? The President of the United States. He is upset with Walmart because Walmart, being the largest retailer, at least in the United States, possibly in the world. Actually, I think at one time they were. Double check me, fact check me on that if you want to, because I'm not 100% sure. But I know they are the biggest retailer in the United States. So, Walmart, obviously, a lot of what they sell, where does it come from? China. Now, the tariffs, Trump decided to back off of the 145% tariff, right? Right now it's at 30. So, let's just say, right, that, I'm going to grab this piece of fabric right here that, my wife might be using this for something, so I'm going to put it right back where it was. But this little piece of fabric, let's just say this fabric cost $1, right? Is it made in China? Don't know. Doesn't matter. We're just going to say for the sake of argument that it is. It cost $1 for that little piece of fabric. Now, at $1 for that piece of fabric, right, with a 30% tariff, that piece of fabric is now $1.30, right? Now, on something that small, Walmart could eat the cost on that, right? But what else does Walmart sell? Oh, pretty much anything and everything. You know, I mean, it's a one-stop shop for everything. You know, I mean, we're going to use my T-shirt as an example, right? No, it did not come from Walmart. I don't think it was made in China, but we're going to pretend that it is, right? I don't know, don't care where it was made, honestly. Probably outside the United States. We're just going to say, for the sake of this video, that it was made in China, right? If Walmart charges $10 for this shirt, again, not from Walmart, but I'm making a point here. If Walmart charges $10 and there's a tariff of 30%, well, now it's $13, right? And it's going to be like that with everything. Now, again, they might be able to eat that $3 considering it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. But if you look at how many Wal-Marts there are, how many t-shirts, how many individual pieces of fabric like that, right? Plus they have employees to pay. Not very well, but they have employees to pay. You know, that adds up, right? Even for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And Trump expects Walmart to just eat the tariffs. Well, hold on. First of all, let's rewind that a little bit. Rewind. Time out. Time out. Rewind. Okay? Trump told us during the campaign that this was a tax on other countries. So if it's tax on other countries, why would Walmart have to eat the cost of the tariff? They wouldn't. And technically, the price wouldn't necessarily have to go up, right? But who really pays the tariff? The importer. The importing company, right? That's what a tariff is. It is a tax, not on other countries. It is a tax on imported goods. Which means, right? Let's just say, I think Lesotho was one of the countries that had like one of the massive tariffs on it, like 50% or whatever. Okay. Let's just say that, what can I find over here? Spool of thread, right? This spool of thread. If I am a thread salesman, right? I have a thread selling business, and I import my thread from Lesotho. I actually might say on here where it's from, but I don't care. But I'm going to sell this thread for $2 a spool, right? Well, now there's a 50% tariff. I have really two options. I can either now charge you $3 for this spool, or I can find my thread from some other source, right? But with a minimum 10% tariff worldwide, with the exception of Russia, North Korea. Yeah. Why are those countries exempt? Think about that one for a second. But those are my options. And you probably heard that. I told you you'd hear some noise out of her. Bless you. So, where was I? What was I talking about? Importing stuff, that's right. See, she won't even help me out.
North Korea.
Russia, North Korea, the tariffs. Thank you. Russia, North Korea, the tariffs, and they're not, no tariffs on them, right? I mean, North Korea doesn't really export anything to anyone. But why no tariffs on anything from Russia? We do business with them. Not much, but we do some. But I'm getting a little bit sidetracked, just a little bit sidetracked here, right? Walmart as a company, right? If I owned a company that, let's just say I have a retail store, right? And I have to import some of what I sell, or most of what I sell, right? If I have to import it, well, there's a tariff on it, and my options are simple. Either find it from another source that's going to cost less, well, actually, these are my options. I can either passing the tariff along is not only an option, that's a must, because, my business would be a small business, right? So passing that along would be a must, just to stay profitable, right? To pay my employees and, pay the business expenses and be able to, stay in business. So that's a must, right? So if I have to pay, 30% on everything that comes from China and, 25% on everything that comes from Europe, keep in mind, we don't have access to everything here, right? And let's just say it's at 10% for Kenya, right? I like coffee. Kenya grows coffee. We can't grow coffee here in the United States, right? So if I import my coffee from Kenya, because Kenyan coffee is pretty good, I don't know what the tariff is on Kenya, maybe 10%, probably more, because, why do we want to buy anything from them, right? Well, the coffee that I import from Kenya, when I sell it to you, is going to be, 10, 20, 30%, however, whatever the percentage of the tariff is, it's going to be more than that, right? So Walmart, keep in mind, I don't defend Walmart, like, ever, under any circumstances. I can't stand the company. But I'm going to defend Walmart when they raise their prices because of the tariffs. If I shopped at Walmart, would I like it? No. If you shop at Walmart, you're not going to like it either. I mean, but that's the way it is. I mean, we import so much from China and really a lot of other Asian countries as well. But we import so much that we can't make here, for whatever reason, that we're going to see some massive, massive inflation. Don't take my word for it. Keep an eye on the prices wherever you're shopping. I'll catch you next time.